Something.
Should we start? Yeah. Okay. Good evening. We are calling this meeting of the Stevenson Democratic Council Caucus to order at 7:31 on the 6th of October, 2025. And we have some issues to discuss with our attorney. And
Hey, before just want to make sure he's my counsel is our counsel's available. He is tonight, but I still know if he's available just at this second.
okay.
So just.
I'll let you know when he responds back. You can just go to one or two, and then when he's available, I'll let you know.
So I'm gonna tell them.
Okay.
I don't want it to look late.
It's hard. I didn't realize.
Much is.
Yeah, because you can see the bags under our eyes. Cool to do it. You know those stuff jobs.
For those who don't have programs.
All right, then we can get through everything before you call.
Okay.
Resolution 143 of the Common Council authorizing budget transfer in the Health and Wellness Department in the amount of $9,000 Kingston Spotlights Communications campaign. Moving money in accounts. Submitting financial impact. We're going to do that. All right, resolution 144. Calling on the town of Ulster to undertake a full environmental review pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act secret with a positive declaration for creation of an environmental impact statement for the proposed Alcazar Energy Storage Project, 430 Avenue in town of Ulster. Was not this already done?
Pass this on committee, so this can't be here.
Well, I also did not make this decision.
Well, I'm not, so that's what, you know, basically part of the reason, I mean, I brought it forward to the committee. And now I would like to withdraw it because in fact, last week, the town of Ulster board declared a positive declaration, made a positive declaration.
But this doesn't need to be withdrawn like on the floor because this shouldn't even be here because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lisa, resolution 144 shouldn't exist. I think you were anticipating us crossing that out tonight, but it became moot.
It's moved, yes.
So, right, does that mean we have to renumber everything?
No, I'll take care of it. No worries.
Oh, great, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, resolution 145, recommending approval for modifications of the 2025 Office Grant Management Budget. Also is moving money within accounts. That is actually for moving money from a grant into paying for VRI and bringing money for the Duke Stadium and all that.
Right.
Okay with that. Glad we finished with that. Resolution 146, authorizing budget transfer in the comptroller's office in the amount of $1,476,944 to reconcile 2020 accounts on a year-to-date basis. This is moving money within accounts. There's no financial impact. Everyone okay with that one?
Yes.
All right, resolution 147, an ordinance in relation to the traffic public streets of the city of Kingston, New York, adding handicap parking on O'Neill Street. Very good with that.
Who's that? Michael. Oh, yours, okay. Yes.
Good?
Yes, good.
Okay, all right.
You're good with it, right, Michael?
Resolution 148, amending resolution 24 of 2025 to include, quote, no parking or standing, end quote, on the north side of Carolina Avenue between Voorhees Avenue and Boulder Avenue, Monday through Friday between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Now, this is how we got mixed up the first time around. This is on both sides of the street now.
And also, we want the sign to specifically say Friday between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Monday to Friday between
Which is
7.
not clear.
It should be in quotes. No, this is not clear. It should say amending resolution 24 of 2025 to include no parking or standing Monday through Friday between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m.
It looks like that's what it says in the resolution.
I think it does, but this here, the
That-
title is
but-
confusing.
But that's okay,
As long
as a resolution, so if you want to read it, I didn't like that. Make sure it's okay.
And it says hours north on Marlena. It's basically, it's both sides now. This is how it got confused. Originally, it was gonna be north.
Just what should it
Yeah,
say?
it should say on both sides of Marlena.
Not north.
Not north.
Just remove north on.
Yeah, remove north on, north standing on Marlena Avenue, 7 AM from Voorhees to Boulder. So just remove the word north.
Okay, Lisa, can you just do that?
And then also where it says parking prohibited. Certain hours on Marlena Avenue.
Rennie, can you
So
just
maybe-
send me that? And I will give it to Janet in the morning.
Okay,
Thank you.
And the committee report will match what we talked about, so there won't need to be anything that needs to happen in terms of on the floor. Yeah, as long as it matches the committee report, we're okay. So you're gonna make sure that that's.
okay, I will check. Yeah, so Elisa, I will check the committee report and
And
make,
the committee report was clear.
yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, so just as long as that is clear, we're fine.
As
Sorry.
long as the committee
As-
report is clear.
This-
No.
No, the committee report is clear, as long as the resolution
Got it.
itself is fixed,
Yes,
then we're fine, so we don't have to do any amending on the floor.
excellent.
So sorry, you'll take care of
Yes,
making sure the
yes.
resolution
I
is,
will scour the resolution and the committee report and make sure they both say the same thing.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Is there any remaining item besides the tax surcharge items that anybody believes we need to discuss?
Can we just take this?
Yes?
2057.
157.
Yeah.
To debate, you mean? You doing,
Yeah, I think that we should think about it. Words on it.
Yeah, there was discussion at the committee meeting, so I'm not, there's going to be more discussion.
okay, in that case, because I was thinking if we could just zip through all the other ones, we would do that really fast and we could go into very client session. Okay, well, let's see if we can go through that and we'll get to 157 and see what discussion we need to have. So let's see. We are at 149, authorizing the implementation of funding in the first instance of federal and eligible costs of transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefor. This is,
Just.
this isn't the
We may not get it.
water.
Yeah, if you close it back, that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
But it's like Sunday, maybe.
This is leaving the waterfront one?
I think this is leaving the waterfront.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
yeah, that's leaving the waterfront. So, everybody okay with that?
Yep,
All right, 150, authorizing the adoption of a bond ordinance for the sum of $2,434,706 to fund for primary design, planning, and engineering in connection with the leaving the waterfront project. That's the same, and then 151 is the bond ordinance.
Yep.
I'm assuming everybody's okay with that. 152, resolution of the common council, city council authorizing the removal of the sum of $6,200 vacant building fees from the 2025 general tax bill for 15 Maple Street. Everybody okay with that?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, resolution 153, authorizing the removal of all restrictions placed on the deed by the city for the property located at 49 Park Street.
That's clear.
Yes.
Please and thank you.
157, resolution of the common council of the city, resolution opposing the harmful impacts of the big beautiful bill. Yeah. We're skipping 154 to 56.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
sorry. I thought we were just going to do those.
Do those last.
Never mind. No.
So I think this is one where anybody should be able to vote the way they want to on it. It's a resolution, a memorializing resolution. Michael, go ahead.
No, thanks for giving us that liberty.
Well, I mean, what I mean is there's no force of law here, so it's not.
I get it.
Yeah, sorry.
I would just prefer if we change the title of it to say HR one.
Oh, it's a close, you don't like
The
saying
language that the
big
fascists are
business?
using. That's personal preference.
Well, that, yeah, if you want to make that motion on the floor, we could do that, I suppose. If other people want to follow, yeah.
I'm just concerned, what the ripple effect would be. We should have done this before the bill went through. But I'm afraid of what the ripple effect will be
Mhm.
for the city of Kingston, for the Black and brown community, for my community,
Mhm.
because what he's doing right now is things unheard of. I think it just brightens the star and puts us on his radar. And I think we're gonna have a problem down the road. And I think the people in the community are gonna end up paying the price.
Mhm.
We are all against what's happening, of course, but to really put this out there like that, I think we're putting a spotlight on Kingston, and I think the Black and brown community is gonna have problems in the end.
Mhm.
So I
Well,
spoke to
yeah,
a couple of my constituents, and they're scared also.
I'll support Jeannie and say, what's to be gained?
Yeah, I don't even see why we're entertaining this because of our community members and because of our, it's a community, we're under a lot of stooges right now. And I just don't see, we're not for this, but I think we should have done it before the daily and dollar short.
Andrew, then Michael.
I actually have a question because I haven't talked to constituents about this specific resolution. Have you? But not just the issues at large.
No,
The specific resolution.
I talked to undocumented and documented. More concerned with the undocumented and African Americans than with the documented.
Thank you.
My name is Michael Nintero.
So I do agree with some of the sentiment that I think that this is, we should have done this earlier. But I think, when he took office, the city got a letter saying, we know what you do. So the spotlight's already there, it's already here. Fascism is already here. I don't think that this is going to
Oh, I think we're gonna.
accelerate further. Yeah, I think that that ship has sailed, and that sailed on January 20th. I think that, I think memorializing resolution, asking our congressman to do something he's already done is a little strange, but I think that I respect that opinion, but I think that it's already happened.
So I.
Hold on.
Okay,
Carol's
sorry.
next to Michelle.
So, one of the things that was discussed when we at Laws and Rules last time was, you sort of reminded us of the process we went through with, the ceasefire resolution. And part of what we did in the final analysis, we had this really, this document that we had prepared that had a lot of statements in there that it took exception to because it was going to perhaps target the Jewish community and you were concerned about. And you went back and you neutered, to a certain extent, the language that was included there because we were mindful of the, how do we put it? Whereas the city of Kingston recognizes that we have the ability and the opportunity to help ease the pain and divisions. And whereas the conflict in the Middle East has greatly affected many members of our Kingston community in the most intimate and horrifying ways. Well, I think we're at that same place now. And if by passing this memorializing resolution, it draws any more attention to our most vulnerable population, I don't think we have a right to do. I think that what we do have a right to do as individuals is sign our name, march individually, do the, op-ed pieces, boycott, demand that the state disinvest from certain, corporations that are profiting off of in this federal government paradigm. But I don't think that we have the right to further expose our immigrant population. And then secondly, what when Sarah asked, I think it was Barbara, what's the purpose? She said it's to educate and it's to let people know that our taxes will be going up. Well, because we have to, cover the cap. Yeah. So what we have admitted is that the taxes are going up. And we haven't gone through the budget process.
Well, that was Barbara Hill. She doesn't work at the city.
No, I understand.
Like, I also wanted to see that
No,
too,
but that
because I want people to think that's
Oh,
Barbara
okay.
Hill's daughter.
Right, no, absolutely. Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That Barbara, yes. And so if that's the purpose, to educate, then why not do what they are doing, which is go door to door, educate people, let them know that because of these, because of the federal government withdrawal of certain funding, that our taxes will be going up. That's different than speaking on behalf of all of Kingston. And again, further exposing our most vulnerable population.
Great, Michelle and Steve.
So just going back to what Michael said, and then part of what you said, I was going to propose a last whereas where it says to safeguard our community in the future, like because this vote has already taken, we local leaders must urge New York State government to address budget shortfalls while also exploring innovative revenue solutions on a local level. So it's an action then that we can take based on something that already happened.
And I'm not saying that, this is bad, which I'm not saying that. But we walk in our white privilege all the time. And we don't even realize we're doing it because we are not a person of color. But, the people that I talk to, the fear is real. And, I just don't want, more things happen to our city that's already been happening. And that's what I'm not speaking, I'm not African American and I'm not Spanish. So, but the people that I spoke with, they can't even come to meetings.
Right.
That's a little frightening when you can't come to a meeting and you've been here for 20 years and because of situations that are going on now. It was, if you look at some of the, festivals, people are not coming out. People are scared. They're truly scared. And we, as we won't know that. We won't feel that as much as somebody else will.
Steve.
Thank you. When I was first approached about this, my very first thought when I read this is that this, I don't know, to me seemed to be more in the mayor's wheelhouse, since he's going to be submitting the budget. And we're kind of presuming there's going to be some increases because we know because of this. My thought was the mayor should explain this to the public, why because we've already heard it. You see it on Facebook already. You're talking about taxes going up, but nobody has asked why. It's just they're all agitated because taxes are going up, which they haven't in quite a while. But this is, I don't know. It just seemed like something the mayor would want to address, as this is going to have an effect on our budget in his budget proposal. So, he might want to put that out there. I don't know how we would feel about us talking about this. I'm not sure. I think in theory this is great, but it is going to draw some attention. We had it happen before, with the welcoming city stuff. We painted a bullseye on our back with things like that. Not that, we can't stop taking action on things just because we're afraid, but I think it will have some adverse reaction.
Yeah, so after laws and rules, I was in favor of this. I still am in a way, but actually kind of exactly what Steve said is there are certain actions or memorializing resolutions that I think are worth the risk. But hearing that there are people who are legitimately scared of this, I don't think that that's worth it, even if it comes to nothing, to put extra fear in people's lives for something that the gain is not great, and we could do this, we could say the same thing in other ways. Thank you for talking to people and bringing it to our attention, because I just don't think having that fear is worth it when there isn't. And maybe do something like, because I liked your whereas you're gonna maybe focus on that instead and take out some of this other stuff and focus on what we could do and maybe how we could educate people without putting the spotlight on people. So
Can we table this so we can discuss
Yeah,
it
we can
more?
send it back. to
Yeah,
committee.
just send it back.
You know, is that like?
Yeah, because I think,
I'm just, yeah.
to me, the worst thing would be is if we had a split vote. A really split vote. No matter
especially
which.
because Drew won't be there, so we'll.
Right, that's.
Oh, then I can vote.
Yeah, then you could vote. Well, so we'll vote on it.
This is
So
the one that I
Andrea-
would want to vote on.
Michael,
So it's already been reported on that we've discussed about this. If we send it back to committee tomorrow, it will be reported on that we send it back. It will be reported on if we pass it out of that committee again. But all of these instances have already happened, and I think in there, the meat cleaver approach that the federal government is taking, there's no difference between us talking about it 2 weeks ago in a committee and us passing it tomorrow. The fact that it was even brought up in the beginning will do exactly the amount of damage as it being voted on. I just don't see the reticence to, the target's already here. You know, all of that stuff is already here. I just don't see how this actually accelerates that in any material way.
Well, how do you reconcile the process that we went through with the ceasefire resolution and the fact that we paid attention to how this could possibly members of the Jewish community here in Kingston and not be able to apply the same kind of consideration to our immigrant community?
I think that's a good question. I was not really in favor of any of those changes. And I also thought that it would move Congressman Ryan, but he's paid too much by APEC for our opinion to matter. But I think that that's what's going to be asked in 30 years, if there is 30 years, what did you do? And that's why.
And this won't be
This won't
that.
do anything.
This won't be that.
Michelle is next, so. are
So-
you free?
No, it's okay. I'm fine with either way we go. I just think that it's already, I'll vote in favor of it. If it comes up tomorrow, I'll vote in favor of tabling it if we need to table it. But I just think that we should be realistic that the damage that we're worried about is already being done. So,
Yeah, Michelle.
So community members did this with Congressman Ryan. And Congressman Ryan has asked that we do this. So my feeling in accepting the resolution to, bring forward is that our congressman did not believe that that's going to bring risk to the community. So
Your congressman is a white male.
I'm just
With a beard, with a beard, he's a beardo. Go with that.
So this actually brings up a really good point that our congressional leaders, right, are very out of touch then maybe with the people on the ground. And my point that I've been making is local electeds have the first touch
Yes,
with our community.
yes.
So I'm sensitive to what you're saying, Michael, this idea of having it
Yeah.
come back. But on the other hand, I think I'm hearing what you're saying too, about trying to figure out how do we approach a situation that can have very deleterious effects on certain members of the community. So I think actually sending it back and having it be an issue for continuing discussion could actually be helpful. And would maybe be a time for us to think through how to model something that would be, instead of this is critique in a sense, you were talking about having frame another whereas, but think about it in terms of a kind of general statement of we're in very difficult times. We want a vision going forward. Here's the sort of thing that we're looking at, so that it's saying what we want to do as opposed to what we're against.
Right.
So,
We wanna do
that
something.
if we sent it back to
Right.
committee, we could have that discussion instead.
And I just.
So, Sarah's been waiting. I'm sorry.
I just had a question actually for Michelle, because I understood, I think when Barbara Hill was presenting it to us, that this was something that multiple communities around the state are doing, so it's not just, it's a concerted effort by a number of municipalities.
It'll be in the legislature.
Right. But I think that going back, I would be happy to see it go back to further discussion and to table it, and go back to laws and rules, because I think it's really important to say something. To make a statement as we did with the ceasefire resolution, this is what we believe, is good for our community, just like we did for the ceasefire, to recognize that there was, discussion and that people were upset and hurt, and people are being hurt throughout our community, and what's the appropriate response to that? And I think we managed to come through, even though the ceasefire resolution didn't have a lot of what a lot of people wanted. I think it took into account the fact that it was going to impact people. So I would be willing to vote to see it come back to law.
Sure.
No, I'm pretty much said it.
Yeah, I just think throwing it out there, and people kind of alluded to it, but we should, that one meeting at the end where we went through the ceasefire resolution line by line is how we should think about approaching this. So,
Do no harm.
yeah, so looking at it through that lens in the next few weeks before the next laws and rules meeting, I think would be super helpful to go through it. So you'll make a motion to send it back?
Yeah. And I know it's gonna be full, because Barbara Hill has said everybody's going to,
Does anybody want to reach out to either Barbara or Charlotte? Oh, and so that they know it's not.
I can reach out to Barbara.
Completely.
I'm on private. Do it because they want. So,
Okay.
yeah, mine is because those are first.
I'm gonna be at the next.
And truly, the sad thing is is that this is already going forward, as Michelle was just, the activities that we're protesting are already.
We're just wagging our fingers and saying, bad public.
But still, it's important to say something, I think.
Yeah, the US out of Chicago, that's what I said.
Right.
Yeah.
US out of Portland.
They're here next.
Penn State, I don't
I
know.
don't think they're too far away.
Yeah.
All right. Second reading of local law establishing the Charter Review Commission. Are we okay with that? Charter Review Commission, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, yes. Okay, all right, we're done.
No,
We're done with those. Now we can go into attorney-client. We're done with the public portion of the program.
All right, we're gonna go into attorney-client session now. Oh, sorry, I was pressing the button before I got the answer, so
That's fine.
I want
We're
to
good.
go.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn,
Motion.
and we've got 85 seconds. All right, we're done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Lisa.